So you're saying basically when I get people that are really, really big celebrities who come here, I should take a picture of them and just sell their NFT?
Yeah, why not?
So
let's like clarify what an NFT is.
It's not
digital.
It's digital. Of course, you can take a picture, but
I don't like your attitude and your disrespect to my questions. To be honest, when somebody answers a question and they go, yeah, you guys know that we already started ages ago, right?
No.
Yeah, we already started. Guys, welcome to another episode of Jibber. Today I've got an amazing episode for you guys. At any time, if you see me, I'm looking at this one because this is ours.
This one?
This is theirs.
All right.
And that one is for
all of
between
us.
your legs by the looks of it. Yeah, so guys, like many of you guys, it's going to sound like they're speaking Chinese. One of them actually might be speaking Chinese during the episode, so don't worry, it's not that confusing. How can I put it? If this was the crypto Olympics and I had a relay team, this is the team I would like to be running with me. To be honest, I think I'd take the last part of the run because I wouldn't know what to do in the beginning. But guys, let's introduce ourselves to the audience because they need to have a brief introduction about you guys. If you'd like to take it over first.
Cool. So I'm looking at that one, right?
Yeah, then you're looking at that one.
Sorry, I'm such a noob.
They are actually really organized guys. So it's not
we are.
Yeah.
It's just, this podcasting thing is a new thing. So, hi, I'm Lamine. I'm 32 years old. I was born in Algeria. I moved to Germany when I was 2. I did my master's in computer science at the University of St Andrews in Scotland. It's boring parts, but kind of, builds up credibility.
I'm saying that because I was British. Scotland is not part of Great Britain.
The UK, bro.
Yeah, all right, cool.
And then I moved back to Berlin where I was one of the first employees of N26, which is a neobank in Germany. I built that one for 1.5 years. I'm a computer scientist by studies, but a designer by heart and by trade. So I ended up designing the entire product there, which ended up somehow, becoming the standard of banking in the 21st century. And this is not even joking. We were the first ones who had like real-time push notifications for every card transactions. You could block and unblock the card whenever you wanted to. The account opening took 6 minutes instead of like 4 weeks. And we did a few innovative things there. And then I left N26, built my own company, which is called Cookies, which was kind of like the European version of Venmo. So you can send money back and forth, basically in real time from one bank account to another bank account. I did this for 1.5 years. We ended up getting bought by Klarna. Klarna is, I think, the most valued startup in Europe right now. And they are a buy now, pay later company. I think they have like 80, 90 million customers across the globe. It's pretty nuts. Wow. I was there for 3.5 years. I ended up building a bunch of consumer products there as well, from peer-to-peer to point of sale. We digitalized the German universities, the campuses. And then after 3.5 years, I decided to move forward, and then I moved to Hong Kong. And then in Hong Kong, when I landed, kind of the protest kicked off. So it was not the best time to be in Hong Kong to do sabbatical year. And then I ended up meeting the guys at WeLab. WeLab is pretty much the biggest lending company in China, and they just received like a virtual banking license. And then I ended up building their bank too, which is a bit nuts. And then I was like, I'll never forget, I was like 31 years old, and then I got asked.
Give me that Infinity Gauntlet, please.
This one? There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Keep going. Keep going, bro. Keep going, bro. Keep going.
So I ended up building like another bank in Hong Kong, and then I had dinner with friends. And then they asked me, what do you do for a living? And I didn't know what to tell them. And then I told them, well, I guess I build banks for a living. And then I went home, and it kind of like stuck with me, and I felt a bit shit, even though it's nice.
You felt shit because you build banks for a living.
Yeah, because like one thing it's nice because 3 of these banks are unicorns. And, one I actually ended up selling to, like one of these unicorns, which is like nice, right? But you realize that you're wasting your entire talents to build yet another credit card for yet another bank, and like with this, you don't really solve problems in the world. And we have so many problems to solve. And then I kind of went on a hunt and tried to figure out, what is the purpose of life? And because I'm extremely impatient, I took myself 24 hours to figure this out. And then I realized for me personally, like my purpose in life is just to be happy.
Okay.
Sounds super simple and easy, but I just want to be happy. And then I thought about, okay, what makes me happy? And then besides my family being in a good mental health and like shape, etc., I realized that there are these 3 freedoms that I truly believe in. The first freedom is occupational freedom. So I want to be able to do what I love wherever I am, which brings me to the second one, which is physical freedom. And then the third one is financial freedom. And then I kind of thought, how can I combine all of these things and use my skills and, you know, my talents in product and design and marketing and all that stuff. And then I ended up founding Flooz. And Flooz is basically is aiming to become the backbone of the creator economy, because I have this personal belief that, you know, and we can talk about this afterwards, but in the next 10 years, like, the jobs are not going to be there the way we know we know them, right? So yeah, this, and then yeah, we also use cryptocurrency to enable the entire world, you know, to live based on their passions. And this is in short, because like otherwise I'm going to be here.
This is in short.
Yeah, I'm trying to. This is short.
I totally get it, and I get a few things from that. One, unlike me, your parents are actually proud of you. That's the first thing I get.
No, listen, bro. My mom thinks, you know, when you ask her what does your son do, she says internet. It's like yeah, exactly. I'm the dude who fixes your Wi-Fi, bro. You know.
When you ask my mom, what does your son do? She'll say he talks shit for a living. So to be honest, actually, you know what? That's a good Arab job. To be honest, I think it works. It works really well. Dude, that's an amazing CV. And if you don't build me a bank by the end of this episode, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed. Yeah, we're gonna leave it there. Because don't tell them how you can do it. Mende, don't make me use the glove, bro.
That's a good slap.
Well, thanks for having me again. This
of course.
The second time.
Yeah.
So I think in the first episode, all the watchers, they already learned a lot about me and know where I'm from. But again, I've been in Dubai since 2007. I'm a German entrepreneur. I work in crypto since a few years. It's my passion. And since last time, a lot of things have changed and evolved. And the time's been very, very interesting till a few days ago. But I believe they will be very interesting again, because this is how the crypto world works. It's like ups and downs, left and right. And in general, yeah.
He's also called Big Hard Mende.
Yeah, Big Hard Mende.
Big Hard Mende.
And also,
Big
unlike you guys, we watch TV on one screen, he watches it on 12.
Oh yeah.
It's just a flex, you know.
Yeah, it's very hard. That's why I have a lot of different glasses. You know,
exactly. Each one's.
I have really different glasses. Sometimes in some stories you can see that I wear two glasses,
Yeah,
because my eyes get so tired that I need more zoom.
So you put another zoom on top of it.
So I see better.
Magnifying glass.
You know, the eyesight, it's probably one of the biggest gifts we have in life. And to be blind, I think it's worse than to be deaf. Or to have maybe no legs. I don't know, but I think the view, it's the most important thing.
Yeah, of course. So why are you trying to fuck it up with so many screens, bro?
I'm trying to fix it, but I have to work. There's so much going on, you know. Nowadays, since last time, I became busier than ever ago. Like, I literally work 12
bro,
to
I can tell.
16 hours.
I'm watching all of the stories. I mean,
sometimes I work full day, 24, non-stop. And I just take 2-hour nap and I continue. But then I will sleep also like 8-9
for another 2 days. He's like, I worked for 24 hours. I slept for 3 days after, but I worked for 24 hours.
You know what my mom once told me? And I swear to God, I got the biggest slap of my life from my mom. Like, I called her once and she was like, how you doing? I was like, I didn't sleep. She's like, when did you go to bed? I was like, 3 a.m. And she was like, you know, you don't have your life in order if you can't complete your task in 8 hours a day. You know, like, you're not efficient if you can't get this done in 8 hours a day, like every other, you know, person on the job. Bro, I look like the biggest sucker.
But were you not like, okay, mom, here's 8 hours, build me a bank?
Well, kind of went like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought to get you on now would be a nice distance from the last time you were on, because I think people are just now understanding all the stuff that you were saying before. That it's just sinking into them. They're figuring it out, because we went through some deep stuff last time. We broke down the beginnings, the ends of crypto and everything.
Absolutely. So I mean, now when I go sometimes out to some coffee shop or something, really everybody talks about crypto, and when people see me also on other tables where my friends are, they will just call, hey, and then they say, what's the new coin, what's this, what's happening, is the market going up, can you please check my friend's portfolio, are they good?
Well, I'm sorry that's messing up your day, but that's exactly what I'm going to do today.
No, but the thing is, it's also nice because a lot of people, they looking into the future. Maybe some people, they joined too late. Maybe they fell for some bad projects. But in general, it's good that they opened their eyes.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The future, it's coming, and this stuff, it cannot be not seen. It must be understood by everybody, because we will get surely it's digital like central bank digital currencies, and it will all be upgraded. So those coins now, it's like an experiment, but in the future it will be a full standard for everyone. So better to figure it out now than later.
I mean, I'm quite ashamed to say that I still don't own any crypto, or I haven't got into it at all.
But I told you to make wallet.
I know, bro. I know.
Wow, I'm very disappointed.
Well, making a wallet itself is already super painful, eh?
Right?
Yeah?
And that's a nice way to introduce yourself.
It is.
That is complicated, maybe.
Cool. I'm Daniel. I was born in Amsterdam, and I basically grew up in China. I've lived there most of my life. I've done my studies there. Very stubborn. So as I was doing different types of study, I started off with branding, marketing, front end, eventually switched to software development, and then I found out that the things they were teaching were quite outdated of what was actually happening in real life. I had the privilege to spend a lot of time with my dad in China, and as I've been like there in China when things such as WeChat got introduced, and WeChat, in my opinion, to this day is ahead of every single tech company in the world in terms of payment structure, providing, I don't know, the most simple things in the sense of buying, I don't know, your tickets to the cinema, train tickets, insurance, etc. So basically, while spending a lot of time in China, I developed my interest for first of all Asia itself and the way it's developing, the language. I studied there, so I speak fluent Mandarin. 对，我会说中文。
flex.
Yeah, of course.
I told you, he's actually not speaking in Mandarin at all. He just started speaking some crypto stuff, and everyone started going, "Oh, he started speaking Mandarin."
你要谈加密货币可以啊，什么的问题你就问我。
So here's the thing, like he did like a TikTok in Mandarin and it blew up. He got like
viral.
He got 2.5 million views.
Yeah, it went
30,000 comments.
Yeah, well, it would. The green-eyed, blonde hair, speaking Mandarin. To be honest, if I was single, babe, not now, I'm married now, then I'd just be like, "Hey, dude, do you want to go out? I know this great restaurant, and let's go there. It's going to be a Chinese restaurant."
Of
I'd be
course.
like, that waitress over there, like order. There, do you know Shaoma? Have you heard of Shaoma? He's a big YouTuber. Also, he's studied a lot in China, and
Where did
he
study
basically,
in China?
I'm not sure, but he speaks Mandarin, Cantonese, Fujianese, Taiwanese, Korean, and he just goes around just chatting to people in Mandarin, and they're just all like looking at him like his fan base is huge.
It always happens with him, no matter what we are.
So if crypto doesn't work, then you always know you can make some money off ads on YouTube.
Oh, don't worry, bro. Crypto's not working.
Well, who am I talking to? These guys are going to be building the ads on YouTube.
You know what they've been saying? So we've been working on this project, right? And like we have these people in the community. Thank you, by the way, first of all. And basically what they've been saying is like, this Daniel dude looks like a professional soccer player that just failed his career, and now it's like talking interesting stuff about crypto.
Yeah, to be honest, it's
like,
true.
They're
it's
relentless,
true.
bro.
You could also have, I think you could also have a whole new kind of following if you just did it in your boxer shorts. And Calvin Klein boxer shorts. It's like a little Calvin Klein model. He's just be like, "Have you bought your wallet? You want to buy the wallet?"
Hey.
But all right, let's.
Well, jokes aside, the thing.
He's like, jokes aside, I am pretty handsome.
No, but the thing is like, what we're trying to do, it may sound stupid, but we want people to actually have that kind of, let's say a model. We want them to be able to explain what crypto is and how you can get into crypto.
Okay, I mean,
and that basically gets to like how the project.
I'll do it for you, bro. I'll do it for you.
Towards the project we're working on, like we're planning on humanizing crypto and empowering the future of work by basically enabling everyone to, pay through digital payments.
You need anyone that kind of looks a bit like Jafar from Aladdin to kind of do it for you, because I'm in, bro. I'm down. I'll have a snake staff and everything. I'll just be like, yeah.
Well, you just created a job application for some dude explaining his underwear. So.
There you go. You know what? I could be doing some back end stuff. I'm not as useless as you might think. Guys, let's talk about. Okay, I'm sure Mende, this is one for you. Tips for people who are starting, to open up wallets or not, because you get a lot of people who are like, I mean, you get this in every industry, but there's always a couple of people who have made one trade and all of a sudden they start telling all their friends and teaching like they know what they're talking about, and they tell them, but buy this one, it's really good, it's that, it's this, and it's like they have got no idea what they're talking about. So who can people trust? How do they start a wallet, open a wallet? What's the good tips to kind of get that going?
There's so many things I can tell to that, but in general, it's
Go for it, bro. We got time, bro. This is a 3-day episode.
I mean, there is a lot of good sources on the internet, and I know that there are some nice educational platforms on the way. I saw one project, it's in the making. It will be very cool, and I feel that it will be very good for education. It's called Coin Marketpedia. So it's like to inform all the people how everything works, what every coin means, what's the function, how to start a wallet, a comparison of things. It's like a kind of academy where people can learn stuff. So a friend of mine does this project, and I seen it the other day, and I think it will be live in a month or something. I'm not sure, but they have good content, very educational. But in general on YouTube there are also a lot of good channels. I mean, I can provide you some links of some good YouTubers, like not YouTubers who aggressively push something or push for trade, just some educational stuff who also explain the risks and so on, because there's always risk in everything. But wallet wise, I mean, there are also some good applications which are in different countries regulated and in some not. So there are decentralized wallet and centralized. So the decentralized, basically you don't have a KYC, so anybody can just open it, and whatever is in this wallet, it's stored in this wallet. It's like stored on the blockchain, which means that only the person who has the private key, this is like the seed. There are sometimes 12 words, sometimes 24 words. Whoever remembers this has access. Because a lot of people, they also keep their coins on exchanges. Me personally, the majority, I keep on exchanges because I trust them. I think Binance is a very good exchange. I think FTX is a very good exchange. But then it becomes again complicated, because in Binance you have 3 different mechanisms how to trade. You can just simply swap from dollar to something else, another coin, but then the fees are much higher. Or you can go in the exchange platform and put an order, and then again you have different functionalities. So all this stuff is kind of complicated. So I personally like one solution which is called Swissborg.
Okay.
Swissborg, it's a Swiss product. It has a funny name because Borg, we know them from, I think, Star Trek.
Yeah.
But the people who created, they're also very geeky people, and they're very smart in the industry. So they managed somehow to get everything regulated. They also can on-ramp and off-ramp fiat money, like conventional money. They have a inbuilt staking mechanism which makes the wallet very beneficial. So people who actually store money in there, they can just click a button if they have Bitcoin, and then they get more Bitcoin by staking. So they don't have really to take the money out of an exchange, go in some of those DeFi pages. DeFi stands for decentralized finance. This is like the future of crypto, I believe, pretty much.
I was going to tell them what DeFi stands for, but then I thought I'd let you say it. I didn't want to.
Yeah, it's like, I think this will completely disrupt the banking industry, unless the banking industry catches up and applies those DeFi solutions to their banks. But I also don't know how they will actually do that.
Do you think that, that we're going to live in a world without cash sooner rather than
Absolutely.
later?
This is happening in China, bro.
And Sweden.
Yeah.
Cash is dead. There's no cash in
Bring the
China.
mic a bit. Bring the mic a bit closer. Go on. Let's say it
we're
again.
good, we're good.
Cash is dead.
Cash is dead.
I want to get a good clip out of this. Cash is
Cash
dead.
is dead.
Can you say
It
in
is.
Chinese too?
Yeah.
现金，你现在在世界上不会用现金。我真的跟你说，现金是死的。
All that was cash is dead.
I gave a little extra, you know.
A little bit.
extra
He
sauce.
just, I feel like he's a spy and he just sent a
Extra
signal
sauce.
out, bro.
They're
holding me in this podcast.
Whatever I say, like, you guys will only
come
find
and
out
get me.
after.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter what I say.
Okay, but I mean, like, okay, I know it's happening in some places, but I mean, do you believe that that's going to be the only thing that there's going to come a time where there's going to be no cash?
So I actually gave a TED talk about this, you know.
Oh, you gave a TED talk, did you?
Fuck yes, I did. No, so there's a big issue in the world right now, you know, where like a lot of countries are very developed and they all have, you know, the right infrastructure, which means having good internet, having a high smartphone penetration, etc. But the big problem is we still live in a world where 31% of the global population is unbanked. And unbanked means they just don't have access to financial systems and services at all. Like, and if everything goes, you know, entirely cashless, then those people are pretty much screwed. And this is, you know, it's difficult. So first we need to solve the unbanked issue before we can go into like a full cashless society. Now, geographically speaking, there will be certain countries and certain places in the world that will be entirely cashless. But until we reach that point, it's still going to take quite some time, because again, we need to solve the unbanked issue first. Once you have this, then we can become full cashless. But I do feel that, you know, in the years and decades to come, it's hit me up with the word, it's inevitable.
Inevitable.
I always fucked this one up. He's in French, you know. Like.
Why did you ask him and not me? Do you think you think that he's smarter than me, bro?
No, but because he always makes jokes. Every time I say the word, he laughs. So it's inevitable. You know, so I always get confused. But yeah, no, like cashless societies, we've already seen this in China. Sweden is also like on the verge of abolishing cash entirely, which is fairly nuts. And I spend a lot of time in Sweden. Like everyone over there is just either paying with NFC, near field communication, where you take a card and you just tap it, or with Apple Pay, Google Pay, etc. And that's also why, you know, like banks are right now suffering significantly, because, you know, like the tech companies like Apple and Google, like they're just taking over entirely. Because if you control the device, and then you can control basically the bank that has access to, you know, the near field communication. In Apple's case, for instance, you know, there's a lot of, you know, paperwork involved for you to, you know, obviously be able to host your card into the Apple ecosystem. And if you do not comply with, you know, Apple's requirements, then you're not getting into it. And if you don't get into it, all of a sudden, you know, like your bank will be left out, because people are obviously going to choose a bank account that supports Apple Pay or Google Pay versus a bank account that doesn't do it, right? And and then ultimately you realize, and this is also why I made the switch going away from fintech and, you know, and building all of these banks, is because in the future it doesn't matter which bank you're banking with, because a bank is becoming a commodity. It's undifferentiated. Like right now there's a massive war between banks about creating, you know, consuming buying preference. This can either be in the checkout, or it can also be, you know, just on the bank account opening process. That's why also all these banks, all of a sudden, they spend top marketing dollars to acquire new customers, because like the services between bank A and bank B are exactly the same. Like a standard user in banking only needs a few functionalities. They need a wallet where they can send funds in, and they need to be able to spend the funds. And the funds, they can either send it to friends, family, or they can pay bills, or they can spend it on, you know, like in stores, etc. So those are the main use cases. And then obviously you have investing and all of that stuff, but this is only for like, I don't know, I would say like 5 to 10% of the user base fully relevant. You know, they just need a bank account. That is the average user, right? And now enter crypto, and things look entirely different. And this is where like things are getting, you know, are starting to heat up very much. And the banks that don't have many opportunities right now, they can either make a 180-degree flip and start to innovate, you know, and like really, you know, pour like significant resource into their tech teams, into their product teams, and start to build like really good products that can compete with the new kids on the block like us. Or they us, including you, bro. You know, of course.
You guys need a mascot. At least put my face on the coin or a T-shirt or something.
So either they can innovate, or they can build up a venture arm and start acquiring, you know, like all of these smaller players that don't have like such a high market cap yet, where it would make sense to acquire them, or they go bust. But those are the only 3 possible avenues for a incumbent bank in 2021. There's nothing else. There is like literally nothing else. Either you innovate, or you buy, or you die. Like, and this is, you know, it's a very dark picture out there. But you know, the more I spend it, and like I've built like 4 banks now. You know, I've seen a bunch of the stuff. Like I know a lot of these CEOs, etc. And I just know, you know, right now it's just a war on acquiring customers. You know,
that's nuts, bro.
The thing is, like, one of the things in the end of the day is all process innovation, because the functionality was...
Bring the mic closer to you. I know you're modeling right now. You're thinking you want to look cool, relaxed and back and stuff.
Yeah.
He just, every time the camera goes back to him, he's just like, see, the thing is, guys.
Oh, bro, this is gonna get you some views.
I'm getting you views, bro.
No, but jokes aside, like, it's all process innovation. And throughout, you know, working from different places in the world. Like, if I want to send money to Dubai from my Hong Kong bank account, it's a pain. And the fees I pay are outrageous. It doesn't make sense. Like, I have, you know, friends who are currently in Europe, and I want to transfer them some funds, and the only thing I have to do is copy paste the wallet address, and they receive the funds in like less than a second.
Well, a bit slower now with everyone buying and selling. You know, it's not fully instant yet, unless it's on Solana, which he's a big fan of. But yeah, when we send, it takes still like a few seconds.
Yes, but
more
still,
than
like, in comparison to how
it's fast.
The current banking system works, and like, if I have to pay, you know, from my Hong Kong bank account to whatever bank in the world, it's a pain, and the fees I pay are also like outrageous. Like, I have had transfers of, you know, X amount of money, and you pay fees over hundreds of US dollars, and it's not like the world, but if you do, you know, 10 payments, that is already like £1,000.
Yeah,
it's what he was saying earlier. Like he's really like touching on like he's really hitting, how do you say this, the nail in the coffin. Like, in banking, there is no actual innovation. There's just process innovation. There is like none of the banks, like what banks have been doing in the last 10-15 years, you know, like, and what the new banks, like the entire Elon, I don't want to name names because I know these guys and I'm going to get killed otherwise. But like the new banks that, you know, came out like in the recent years, you know, that have acquired millions of customers at lightning speed, etc., versus the old banks, there is no difference.
You mean the neobanks?
The neobanks, yeah, I'm not going to say any names, but like, and also mad respect and mad love for everyone who wakes up in the morning.
Names. You heard it here first on Jibber with Jabber. Here comes some names.
No, bro. Not going to do anyone dirty. But
tell me I'll do them dirty, bro.
I'll tell you later. I promise. No, but the truth is, you know, like the stuff that we've done, you know, back in the days with N26, and that was like, 2013, kind of like set the standard for the world.
Yeah, put it on.
This is the
You can't wear that, but you can wear the Magneto helmet and the Darth Vader one. They're actually wearable.
Bro, did you see that? The Darth Vader one.
Oh, that's crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I told you. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just a bunch of process innovation right now. There's no actual innovation, and then comes crypto. And as Daniel said, you cannot just like send money across the world, but like there's so much potential also for like smaller businesses that all of a sudden they are capable of getting loans they would never get.
You can get loans from crypto.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
wait, crypto? You can get crypto loans.
Yes.
So I can borrow crypto money.
You could, yeah. And this is where it gets very interesting.
Can I borrow some crypto money, Mende?
But you have to have something to put there first.
I'll give you that Terminator.
Well, if you would NFT it.
Oh, don't get me started. We're going to get into NFTs soon, bro, because I have to talk about that stuff after.
If somebody accepts this as collateral because somebody else say this is like $10,000, then you could take maybe a loan for $30,000 or $40,000.
I've got a lot of signed stuff by actors and
stuff,
Funko Pops and stuff like that. Let's talk NFTs after the show. Let's see what we can. But you have to wait. NFT. You have to take a picture of the NFT, right? No,
bro. Any digital asset can be turned into an NFT. Anything.
So I can turn this mic into an NFT by taking a picture of it, and then
if you take a picture, then it becomes a digital asset. You can't do physical stuff, But what a lot of people are doing is they're selling digital asset as NFTs, and by you owning the asset, you get rights to offline events, etc. Gary Vaynerchuk just recently
did animals and stuff, right?
Exactly. So he has these drawings that he does, you know, and then he basically sells these drawings as NFTs. And if you own them, he has these conferences that he does once in a while. And if you own the NFT, you get into backstage. You can, you know, partake into specific talks, panels, events, and all of that stuff.
But when you sell your NFT, the original owner still gets cut back from that, right? I heard something like...
Yeah, you basically have a lifetime commission on it. So like if I build an NFT and I sell it to you and then you sell it to someone else and that keeps going, I get commission.
Find something that people keep wanting to sell on. Something they can get bored of in a week and want to sell on.
There's a lot of things happening, man. There's a lot of these things.
I want to get back to something that you said about the bank... bankless, not bankless. Bank
innovation.
Innovation is haram.
Bank.
New banks.
No, you were saying something about some countries they're bank
unbanked.
Now, how does that work in regards to? So, are you talking unbanked as in, you know, some people that they store their money physically?
Yeah.
So how is the whole kind of criminal world going to deal with this whole crypto?
There's some different blockchains that focus entirely on privacy. Like, I'm not going to give any advice on how to use blockchain in the criminal world right now.
What have I got you here for, bro? I need to know where to put all this stuff. Mende. No, but I mean, like, is it kind of like a thing where even criminals are going to start getting into it and not use actual money?
So let's rewind back maybe a little bit. When Bitcoin got, popular back, when was it, 2012 or something?
Yeah, 2012.
2012-ish, right? Like, it was mainly used for, what was that platform? Silk Road?
Silk Road.
Silk Road,
yeah,
and like buying
spoke about
drugs,
that, right?
guns, and all of that stuff. So this is how it became popular, right? From like the
look on
criminal
Mendy's
activity.
face. Mendy's just like, Mendy's like, I don't know what they're talking about. But
I'm in crypto since 2012.
Someone who will bring you them.
I didn't do anything.
I really didn't.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
When
sure?
did you enter crypto? Like 2011?
16.
Are you
When
Silk Road,
the trend
Mende?
was gone already.
He's Silk Road.
No, I never used it.
Are you Silk Road though?
Yeah.
Are you?
I just
Are you the guy that made Silk Road, Mende?
the guy is in jail.
It's
no?
like before the glasses and all his disguise. He's just like, oh, now I'm a different person.
Well, I
He's
have
the guy who did Bitcoin, bro.
I have a file of his wallet
What?
with 65,000 Bitcoin in it, but there's such a crazy code on it, like the hash to
Yeah.
unlock it, to block. He has a 64 words phrase, so it's not unlockable.
That's easy. I can give you the password. It's 64 different drugs that you can just type in there one by one, and it will just open.
This you can try it, but I don't think it works.
Okay.
It's a file that's available in the internet, and I
Really?
believe that there are thousands of people with
Trying to crack the code to get the money.
computers trying to crack it. I think it's 65,000 bitcoins or something like that sitting in there.
Wow.
I'm not gonna do the math.
It's a wallet
Good call.
dot dat file.
Wow.
So there's need the private key.
See, I'm the kind of person
Guys,
that will
I
dedicate
have
my
one-
life trying to crack that instead of just trying to
Well,
get in my own wallet and stuff and just make my own money. And just be like, no.
But even though if somebody cracks this wallet, I think it will be a big problem because all those bitcoins, they are marked. Because the blockchain, it's not anonymous as people think. Every single transaction is tracked like in a
it's
ledger,
super
so
transparent.
everybody
Yeah.
will understand each bitcoin or
Where
even
it's
a
coming from, yeah.
fraction of a bitcoin where it came from. So the exchanges, they have some anti-money laundering mechanisms built in, and they have some security desks and forces, and as soon such a coin would enter your wallet in the exchange, it directly will be frozen. That's why a lot of people say it's not good to keep money in the exchange, because it's like having money in a bank where the bank can freeze your accounts. And that's why people use decentralized wallets. So for example, Trust Wallet, Jax, but some of them, they are just more complicated.
So how would you know
Electrum
if
wallet.
somebody's trying to pay you with dodgy coins?
This is a big risk.
Well, how do you know with actual cash?
What do you
With
mean?
cash, you
Like, if
never
I
know.
give you $100 now, how do you know it's not dodgy money?
As in what you did for it?
Yeah. How do you know?
I don't care if it is or not. You just gave me 100. It's fine.
Exactly.
It works
So
for me.
why-
I can
so
spend
why,
it.
So why would it be different with
But what I'm
crypto?
saying is, for example, there's more of a backlash of the, I don't know, FBI or whoever
Yeah.
checking and looking for those coins and seeing that they've gone into your wallet and then being like, okay, we're going to take those or whatever. If I get money in cash, I can go spend it, done, it's done. It's finished, right?
True.
Yeah, yeah.
They can't open up a case against the cash that I spent in Wild Wadi like 2 days
Yeah, yeah.
ago.
No,
But
yeah.
yeah, technically with the decentralized exchange as they are now, it's like cash because they don't know that you own that wallet yet.
But how can you get it out? You have to type your details in, right?
Well, you could transfer it to a centralized exchange, which for example could be Binance, and then you can take it out.
So, long story short, like, there are centralized exchanges. There are centralized exchanges like Coinbase, like Binance. You go in as a normal user. You basically sign up. You do KYC, which is a know your customer. So you have to verify your identity, right? And then once you do so, you can then take actual fiat money, which are like euro, pounds, dollars, etc., to buy crypto. And then once you are into the crypto game, there is a centralized entity somewhere in the world, wherever that might be, that knows this identity is Daniel, and Daniel took 100 euros and converted them into crypto. Once this is done, like, he is known to this centralized entity, right? But once he takes this crypto, 100 crypto, and he sends it somewhere else, and from there he sends it somewhere else, everything is stored in a ledger. So it's basically like an open book saying, you gave me $10, I gave the $10 to him, etc., etc., and then you keep moving. So in theory, you know, you can always do something's called backwards induction, so you can go back in time to figure out where this money actually went into. And then there are certain blockchains that are focused entirely on privacy, where they basically cut this thing in the middle, so you
can't find out.
Exactly, there are certain blockchains that do that. But this is a centralized exchange, and then you have the decentralized exchanges where there is no KYC involved, and which means you can basically download an app, and once you download the app, you are capable of like just receiving funds, right? And then once you do so, you can play around with it. But the minute you want to cash it out, there are different ways to do so. Like the legal way is obviously, for you to take that money and send it back to your centralized exchange, and then from there you send it to your bank account. That is the legal way. But I also do feel that the entire point of crypto is that you don't own any actual, fiat cash anymore, that you keep everything into, cryptocurrency, as cryptocurrency is said to rise and become the predominant currency in the world.
So now where we still have cash, okay? How can you spend the crypto money without it coming into your account? You still need a bank. So as long as we still have banks,
you can spend it. So for instance, PayPal has, I think, 350 million users. Do not quote me on this, so do your own research, please. But I think they have 350 million users globally that are using PayPal, and then they have 26 million merchants, roughly, right? That are on PayPal. The minute PayPal, for instance, starts accepting Bitcoins, Ethereum, and other like altcoins, as a means of payment, this is when you then can take the wallet where of your crypto and you can actually spend it. So like the integration with different merchants, like including the Shopify's in the world, etc. Once these people and these companies are starting to integrate crypto, then you can use it, and then you will see a mass market push. And that's why 2021 is such an interesting point in history and also in time for like banking and for cryptocurrency, because we're at a point of inflection where all of a sudden you see that like all of these big companies are starting to adhere to these ideas of cryptocurrency, and they will start opening the doors. But obviously, like, it's super difficult because each country regulates cryptocurrency differently. So in the US is an entirely different regulation, than, I don't know, in the Caribbean islands or or like in Germany or somewhere else in the world, right? And then you have this entire point of taxes, because like the government at some point will come to, you made $1 million in crypto, so you should be paying taxes, and then there's always this thing that I've heard one of the crypto people that I spoke to telling me the other day. You just tell them, I had it on a USB stick, or like on a ledger, and then I went on a boat. I don't know if you were the one who told me this. And I was on a boat, and then I lost the stick, so I lost all my Bitcoins, and there's nothing that the government can do in theory.
There's going to be a war going on between governments, because governments have been able to always take money from you one way or another, but if they can't physically find the money, then
it's I mean, it's very interesting, because every time something pops off in the world, all of a sudden the price of Bitcoin goes up. And like the idea of, okay, like we can't have like a few people having the centralized entity having the power over our money. This idea is becoming much more dominant across the world. Like, people just don't want to have certain people, being fully responsible of the economy, etc., and would rather take this matter into their own hands. And that's also why DeFi is so interesting, because DeFi is basically unbundling, like decentralized finance. It's basically unbundling all the services from the banks and putting them on decentralized protocols that enable you to have bank-like interactions, where you can make money, where you can, get loans and interest and all of that stuff, but without having a bank in the middle, that takes a massive cut, because it's powered by peer-to-peer interactions. And this is, like, once you start getting into this, that's a whole different rabbit hole. And then you realize, like, banking is, is in a very difficult spot right now. Super difficult.
But the cool thing is this works, because as for my understanding, what is happening in China
is
basically the biggest centralized exchange.
So let's talk about what's happening in China, because now basically they're trying to make it illegal to have Bitcoin, basically, right?
I have a story before we tap into like what's happening in China. Like, I was in China once, and I studied in Guilin, and I initially was studying in Beijing and Shanghai, but I left because everyone was just speaking English, and I was like, I'm here to speak Chinese, so it doesn't really make sense for me to stay here. So I went to Guilin, and Guilin is a third-tier city in China, and like at some point I got fed up with the Guilin mifan, which is like a typical Guilin noodle dish, but it was so worth it because I left Guilin speaking fluent and reading Chinese Mandarin. But the one thing which was so mind-blowing to this day, what happened when like walking around in Guilin was this lady, and I swear to God, like no teeth, nothing, and she was begging for money.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't have cash on me. And she pulls out this QR code, and she's like, you can give me some money through WeChat. Bro, I was baffled. I had to give her a big tip. I had no other choice to give this lady some money. It was crazy. But that's like
no
how...
teeth, but QR codes.
Oh, they all have WeChat, which is basically a digital wallet.
Yeah.
Like even when you go to the most local, like, fruit stalls, like they have
WeChat.
They all have WeChat. There's always a QR code hanging, and you just pay. This is basically the biggest centralized exchange in the entire world, and it works. It works flawlessly.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen anything like any sort of payment structure working better than currently is what is happening in mainland China.
Take that as a challenge. Build one.
I mean, technically.
Oh, that
done there,
like
bro.
you're making the connections now, eh?
No, what he says is like absolutely right. Like, I think at the end of the day, like, the reason why crypto is still so complicated and so cumbersome is because it is just like crypto, like in 2021 feels like banking in 2010. Yeah. It's cumbersome, it's slow, it's unclear, it's not, you have to, so here's the thing. So we launched a cryptocurrency like I think a week ago or something, right? Like he's 10 days ago. Is it 10 days?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, time flies,
Maybe
man.
2 weeks, but not more than that.
Yeah. Like, so like Dumb and Dumber here, you know, like he will tell the story about this. But like we launched a cryptocurrency like a few days ago.
You launched your own currency?
Yeah, our own currency.
Called?
So
it has a very cool name also.
It's called Saya.
Saya?
Save your assets.
Bro, like
So it started off, you know, as a joke and as a meme, you know, but then it became an actual currency. And now we have like, I don't know, I think in the first 2 weeks, we're like 19,000 people who invested into the currency. And like we were capable of donating $350,000 for charity, and like within I think day 2 or day 3, like it's been going nuts.
How much does the coin cost?
It's super cheap.
Oh, how much does the coin cost?
But that's also the wrong question. The right question is what's the market cap?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna speak to my producer, bro. So rewind this bit, cut it out. So, bro, what's the market cap on Saya?
To be honest, like I'm not checking, but I think it's some like 10, 20 million dollars something in their ballpark figure. I'm not checking every day because we focus on building products around it.
Like we'll go crazy if we keep looking at the chart every day. Like we're here to build, and the chart will follow.
But yeah, what I wanted to say on that regard, why crypto is so complicated. If you wanted to buy our coin, you would have to go to, let's say, Binance. You have to register with Binance. Then, and now it gets really fucked up. Yeah, write it down. Like it's like a 6-7 step
Write
process.
it down. You guys are gonna get locked in the studio until I have some money, bro. Well, I'm leaving here with at least 100 grand. If not, no one's leaving this
instantly, bro. No, but you have to go to Binance. You have to sign up to Binance, and then you have to buy the Binance token, which is Binance coin, which is called BNB. For this, you first need to send money to your Binance account and then convert it from Binance to the BNB. Once you have it in there, you need to send that BNB to another wallet, let's say MetaMask or Trust Wallet. Once you've sent it over there, then you need to connect that Trust Wallet with a decentralized exchange, which is called PancakeSwap. Once you connected it, then you can swap the token. And once you swap the token, you had to add it as a custom token in order to see, you know, like your statistics and how many like tokens you actually acquired. This entire process is so complicated. The first time I've done it, and bear in mind, like I build banks for a living, right? But like the first time I've did it, like I had to go on YouTube for 5-6 hours to understand.
Yeah, right.
But the first time I had to go on YouTube like for like 5-6 hours to figure out how it works. And this entire thing is a nightmare. Even if people are interested into investing into Saya, and again, no financial advice, do your own research. We will never solicit you to, you know, to invest into our currency. Lawyer
Lamine, back at it.
Like,
oh, bro, people thought he was an actual lawyer.
Like, guys, I'm not a lawyer, by the way. Like, you know, like I've just, you know, been exposed to a lot of compliance, data privacy, and legal stuff. But yeah, the process is entirely cumbersome, so that we decided to actually like humanize it and make it so easily understandable that everyone can get started. Because ultimately, I want the local bakery person to be able to just go on a website, click, and then instantly they're in the crypto game. They have a full understanding how it works, etc. And the question that you asked earlier, right? And there was no pum, but it's an actual misconception, because people see the price of Bitcoin, and I don't know where the price is now with all this crash and stuff, right? But it was at some point, let's say, up north 50K, and then they see another token that only costs, let's say, $1 or $2. And then they think, oh, it's so cheap. If I buy it now, it's going to go where Bitcoin is, you know, and then I'm going to make so much money. But they don't realize that this token that is maybe, you know, only one, you know, worth $1 or something, is at a market cap of, let's say, 30-40 billion, you know. And Bitcoin is, what's the market cap? Is it 1 trillion, or is it like, it's less than a trillion?
I think now it's less than a trillion.
And with the
like
market,
maybe 800 million.
800 billion. Or 800 billion, yeah. So basically what you do is you take a look at the market cap, and the market cap is very easy because it's the total number of circulating tokens. So how many tokens are in the ecosystem in general, times the price per token. And then you know what the market cap is. And then based on this, you can take a look. If a token has a market cap of 40 billion and you say, oh, it's going to go 10x, bro, then you need to have like 400 billion, you know, for it to go 10x. You know, and like people need to invest. And is it realistic that people going to invest 400 billion or like the remaining 360 billion in order for you to get you 10x? Maybe the technology is so great that this will happen, but chances are it might happen, but like in years and years to come. But people get confused because on YouTube you see, oh, this coin is going to go to 25,000 this year. You know, and everyone's like, oh shit, you know, and I'm one of the first ones seeing this, and then I'm buying it, and then I get wrecked. Because it's just not realistic, you know. And we're trying to humanize it and also educate our user. And then maybe Danny, you can explain what we are supposed to do with the token.
So basically, just to get back on like what Lamine was explaining just now with the market cap, like how are we trying to humanize these things? It's like making it understandable, making it simple, you know, like the bakery next door has to understand why this token will never hit €1 because of its market cap. So what we're building like several products around our currency to make it more understandable. So one of the things would be like an actual calculator where you can, you know, fetch the token and then you basically fill in the potential amount that it could be, and then we give like an estimation of how realistic this price would be. Because if you fill in, I don't know, there's a trillion tokens in circulation, and you say that this token would potentially be $20, you can say you're worth 100 times as much as Jeff Bezos.
And then
Which
you know,
of course,
bro, like,
and then you know, like things are in one simple like click. It's just put in perspective, and like this is like one simple thing of how we have the vision of humanizing crypto. But one of the things that we've done is, so currently our token is deflationary, which has been like a sort of like you've been seeing it more regularly on the Binance Smart Chain right now. Which basically means it's a token that applies tax to every single transaction, and this tax is put to several uses. Our token, for example, has a marketing wallet, development wallet. We have a charity wallet, which allowed us to do the $350,000 donation last week. We have a burn, which I'll get to in a second, and we also have
LP,
the liquidity pool buyback.
community
That
boost,
should be it.
instant
Community boost, instant boost. Yeah. So basically, with all this tax applied, our holders get several benefits, but it's super complicated, as you can tell. Like I'm already, you know, like we have this, that, this, etc. So basically, we build an application around our token where you can connect your wallet, and everything is displayed in a human readable way. So, for example, one of the things that we have is instant boost. So if you hold our token, there's a certain percentage that is applied on every single transaction that's distributed across all holders. And there's a few tokens that have done this. Yes, but no one exactly knows, like, how can you see how much tokens I've actually accumulated over time, which is a super interesting thing to know, because you put your money to use and you get benefits from you putting your money in this token. And now you want to know what happened. So basically, with all these functions, and we make it like super readable and understandable, like really, really like bringing it back to basics, like looking at your current banking interface, but with crypto. So that's like, I'd say, a very quick summary of what we're trying to do and how we're trying to innovate this. So down the line, of course, we're also like thinking of integrating this with actual utility, which then comes to like the passion economy, because we believe that within 10 years, the regular jobs are gone. People will, like, if you look at it now already, there is so many people that are so frustrated and not happy with their job.
Yeah,
it's super sad. like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm super lucky to be in the position I am. I'm 23 and I have so much passion for what I do. But there's plenty of people out there that are twice my age and are still waking up every day not enjoying
Hating
what they're
their life,
doing.
yeah.
And this is going to change because people are it's just not going to last. So again, we strongly believe in that the passion economy will be the biggest economy. Don't quote me on this, but this is our vision. And we're here to
quote on that.
cool. So for anyone, like, if you want to book it, like, let's set up an agenda meeting 10 years from now. Everyone is going to do what they love, which they will. And we're here to empower this. And of course, leveraging Lamine's background of banking. Again, this also taps into like the financial freedom, physical freedom, and occupational freedom. So we're here to bring the entire package, and the currency is going to be part of the utility. And the utility is Flooz.
Wow. So how does it work for people that want to get into it but don't have a lot of money to put into it?
So
how does somebody start who doesn't have money to play with, but is happy to put their salary together or whatever little bit they have left?
Well,
what guarantees can you give me that my money is not going to go?
So let's maybe rewind back a little bit and
why do you keep rewinding everything,
bro? Because
like, that's the meme,
we're not editing yet, bro.
No, we need to zoom out, bro. Like, otherwise it's gonna be difficult to understand. Because in theory, you don't need any money to get started. And this is again, crypto is a bit complicated, but in theory, you don't need any money to get started. The only thing that you need is your passion, right?
Okay.
So, like, we have built this app, right? It's called Flooz.
Yeah.
And with Flooz, you can create a website on your phone, connect your bank account to it, and then you can sell services. The service that we started with is Ask Me Anythings. You can sell digital downloads, and then you can also sell access to live Zoom sessions or any other, Clubhouse sessions or whatever, right? But those are the 3 services that we started, and on top of this, you get all the analytics and the subscribers and all of that stuff, right? And if you just apply your passion and you use, for instance, the Flooz as in our app with it, you already make money because people might ask you, like, for advice or for feedback, etc. We always give this example. We have this account as one of the biggest anxiety accounts on Instagram, and then this dude, people are sending him money on the Flooz platform and asking him, about certain things that make them anxious. I don't know, I have a tinnitus, I've been checking online for the last 3 weeks, like everyone says, like, I can't sleep and now I'm panicking and I haven't been sleeping for the last few days. What can I do? And then he gets a push on his phone saying, hey, this person's asking you this question. He can accept it. He makes a selfie video and then he calms these people down. And this is in real life use cases, real life value that we are already bringing to the people. And then the same you can apply for anything. We have a real estate agent, for instance, who is pretty big on TikTok, who's using our service, and people are sending that person links to property that they are considering buying. And then the creator is reviewing the property and making a 2-minute selfie video and then explaining why they should or should not buy it. And then you have this not just for Ask Me Anything, but also for digital downloads, selling guides, etc., or for Zoom sessions where, you basically have like town hall meetings where you can gather together with your community and you have a very direct exchange. Now, the problem with the stuff that we are building now is, like, first of all, it's awesome.
And the main problem is you don't have any podcasts on there that are making money off of it. If you want to get a live link into this podcast, just go onto Flooz and then pay a little bit of money. You can be right here in the studio with us while we're recording.
You should make a Flooz profile.
You sure? We're going to hook you up.
Don't worry, bro.
It even works with your legacy phone from the 80s, the Android one that you have. No, I'm kidding.
Keep going. He doesn't know about the electricity that I have built right under his seat, bro. Let's go on. Keep going.
No, but jokes aside, so this is the Flooz ecosystem, right? And what we're doing now is we have partnered up with...
Big head. My phone. I really like it, bro.
So vintage,
it's a good phone,
like,
bro.
it was laggy when you made
really
a selfie,
It just has a really bad case, bro. The case looks really old.
It's
bro.
not. It's a camera, bro.
It's a P40.
It's like
a P40 Pro.
It's like these videos.
It's actually a P30 Pro, but I thought I'd just say the latest one.
Bro, iPhone, my G. No, jokes aside. So we have Flooz, which has a lot of utility, right? And we have partnered up with PayPal.
Spell it for people.
Flooz, FLOOZ.link, LINK. Flooz link. Flooz means money. Money. The name comes from my grandma. Bro. Swear to God.
She gave it to you?
Oh no, not to me. Like to the business.
She called you Flooz?
Yeah, no, imagine. Oh,
To be honest, she would have been right. If she
This dude's gonna make some Flooz.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a bad name, to be honest.
No, but like, no, I asked her, I was like, hey, like, I'm building this business. And I was like, what can people do? It's like, it's the future of work. I explained her the concept. She said, I just call it Flooz. And I was like, okay, it's a cool name. And so we called it Flooz. But we have all this utility with Flooz, right? And we've partnered up with PayPal and with Stripe to accept payments on a global scale. But the problem is, if we take a look at the markets that I'm passionate about, which is Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia, you know, like PayPal and Stripe,
work there,
it doesn't really work. I mean, they have presence there, but it's not the mass thing that people are using, right? So all of a sudden, you know, we get stuck in a place where our platform is already used across the globe, but we want to be able for everyone to use it, even with the unbanked, because even though the unbanked maybe not have access to financial systems like we have, you know, with bank accounts and Apple Pay and all that stuff, they still have access to smartphones and internet, you know. And the solution to this is cryptocurrency. So we have the utility here, and now we are building Saya, which is the underlying currency behind the passion economy that we can use, plug it into Flooz, and then enable a value exchange like never before. The thing, however, is before we do all of this funny things and you know that I can go onto your page and pay you in Saya tokens, etc.
Please do.
Yes, I shall one day. You know, but before this happens, we first have to humanize crypto. So this is why we keep emphasizing, you know, we have to humanize crypto, because even if people want to pay you now and ask you a question about the podcast or whatsoever, if we tell them simply send money to this wallet address, everyone's going to be confused. And this is why we have to humanize it first. And
how are you going to humanize it with avatars and
we also
the wallets are going to be like
maybe one day when I come back we can talk about avatars, because we're actually doing something in the metaverse which is very interesting.
We'll do a couple of episodes. This is not going to finish today, guys. Mendy's still sitting there. He's like, I have so much more to say. I'll just eat these sweets until I'm ready to go. Keep going.
No, but so the way we humanize in crypto is very simple. So like we have different stages, right, in our roadmap. So
it's like you guys are doing so much. I feel like such a letdown to society. You guys are doing all this stuff, and I'm just like, I just talk to people every week. Like I just have good chats and stuff. But I'm happy, so that's what counts, right?
Mashallah, that's the only thing that counts.
That's not true, man.
Like
I want money. I don't care about being happy. I want wallets.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's my personal.
You
know, like I just want to be happy, but like breaking it down. So this started off as a joke, like on a Saturday, you know, like we just woke up and it was just like, oh, you know what, fuck it, let's just build a cryptocurrency. And then we went on, you know, like I made an Instagram story, you know, like he was watching tutorials, you know, and he was even saying, I was like, how's it going? He's like, bro, we're missing half the code. you know, like, and all of these things kind of organically happened. We then created a Telegram channel. All of a sudden, within like a few hours, we had 300 people on it. And then someone sent me a DM saying, when is the pre-sale happening? And we're like, what the fuck is a pre-sale, bro? You know, just like, okay,
back
cool.
to YouTube again.
Exactly.
What's the pre-sale?
So we then made a type form, and this type form was filled up like in like 2 minutes. Like people said, oh, if you're doing a pre-sale, I'm in. And they put in their email address, their wallet address and everything. And I was just like,
which is a big thing in crypto, eh?
Yeah. It's
how easy is it to build bitcoins? Not bitcoins, sorry.
So creating
a token is simple.
Because that's the thing. I've seen people who have created tokens online, and they're like, oh, I'm worth 25 billion now, but really they're not. It's like, it's ridiculous.
So the thing is, creating a cryptocurrency is really not difficult, because all these contracts are open and available to the public. So you can just clone any contract out there and put it out there. The thing that is difficult with the cryptocurrency is to make it pop. Meaning, you know, you need to do a lot of things around it. You need to have a good website, you need to have a good team, you need to have a good story, you need to have, you know, the utility in place. Otherwise, people are not buying into the vision. Because at the end of the day, if you take a look at the stock market or cryptocurrency, it's only a reflection of the sentiment of the population. Like, and this is, you know, right now the population is anxious. There's a big crash. Bitcoin fell. It's so volatile. I'm not going to put my money in there, you know, because it's like so volatile, and it's just a sentiment. The minute a guy like Elon Musk or someone else, you know, just goes and says, oh, I bought another, like, I don't know, 50 billion worth of, you know, like Bitcoin, everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin's going back up because the sentiment is positive again, etc. So it's only a reflection of the sentiment of the population of the markets. And it's one of the things that we're witnessing.
So what do you think about Elon and his Dogecoin and his influence on Twitter and how he's making people kind of like...
I think it's a big propaganda.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like steering people. But I don't know if he does it to actually steer them in the way, but it automatically happens, you know?
Yeah.
And also he cannot talk too direct. He talks very indirect and kind of codes. That's how people figured out that the next coin, it's this Shiba Inu coin, which a lot of people were buying. One of my friends, he holds, I hope he sold it 2 days ago, but like like 5 days ago, I was in his house, he had $36 million of Shiba Inu in his wallet. And he made this all from $1 million. So,
Wow.
so he's playing crazy, but it's really like,
It's life changing.
it's but it's also might be for some people life damaging, I believe,
Yeah.
because the problem is that this is all built on hype, and because of the hype, people get in, and those who usually get in too late, often
Correct.
they get wrecked. Wrecked means that everything drops on them. Everything, like they get like kind of like the coin might lose its value. You might have the same amount of the tokens, but you know the value goes down because some other people who had a lot, they kind of sold everything off, and then it just takes all the money out from the value of the token, and then the people who came late, they lost money. Even it happens. It's natural. That's why the kids these days on TikTok and on all those Reddit and all those things, there's non-stop. There's like maybe 20 to 100 projects coming per day, and they have very weird names. I cannot even say the names here. They are too crazy.
Nasty,
The
bro.
name,
Yeah, like weird
nasty,
ones.
man.
like really nasty names, and they just jump from this coin to that coin and then to that coin, and then it's like a flow happening of pumps. So maybe the first week everybody makes money, then they out on the next one, and the other people follow the trend because some they are trendsetters and they use social media in a very nice way. I know one kid, he made about $10 million in the last maybe 45-60 days with those meme coins.
By creating his own coins?
Not
Or
creating,
no, by
just
by
following the
buying.
hype.
Then he
Yeah.
created some communities, and then the people, they were just following. I am in those groups, I'm watching what's happening. I only participated like in 2 of them, and one of them I actually lost the money, and then the other one I didn't lose because this is their project, so I'm happy about it, and I don't sell because I believe actually, because I know how hard they work. You know, before when we came here in the car, this guy, he was the whole time in the laptop. He's writing something like, you know. But because, you know, there's a lot of use case, and I understand their vision, and I like this humanizing of crypto, and I think it's important, and I love the plan to unbank to bank the unbanked. Even though if the banks might be not necessary, but if they will have wallets and ways to pay, and the wallet everybody can have who actually has a smartphone on internet, so everybody would be able to have financial instruments. And and on another side, for me personally, I don't know if I said it on the last show, but I was also working, I have some people who work for me, they live in Cuba. Did I talk about the Cubans?
No. I was talking. I was thinking of the other one where you were just like, guys, I've got this villa and I want 5 people to come and live here.
Oh, he made
get
it happen, bro.
Yeah, I know, bro. That's the thing that I found funny. He was just like, all right, are you a genius? Call me.
So this Cuban people, I swear, I pay them with phone credit. You know, like if you have prepaid, now prepaid, it works on phone credit. So for example, if I send you now 50 dirhams, and I have to have a prepaid or postpaid, and then I can write a code like *120 star phone number star amount hash, boom, and then it sends to you as phone credit, and you don't need to be connected with the internet for that. You just need to have service.
Wow.
So in Africa, in Kenya, I think
It's M-Pesa.
it's M-Pesa. So this actually happened from the phone credit. It happened by coincidence, this product, because people were sending phone credits to each other, because some other people who have stores and sell food, you go and you just send them phone credit and you take the food. And
just bartering.
And
But it's not just phone credit. With the phone credit, it's actually like a wallet. You can pay your electricity with it and other stuff as well.
And
It's not just for the phone credit. It's just the telecom communications companies. They basically built this infrastructure to enable the transaction.
And this is actually a very nice model, because there's more phone network like 2G, GSM, than actually the internet network.
Yeah.
And
WeChat.
a lot of people who don't have that in Africa, they could have payments this way. So I'm paying those guys in Cuba with phone credits, and it's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I hope that the crypto will also come to the level that it will be exactly that simple. And I believe that's the one what you guys mean with
Yeah.
humanizing
it.
crypto, right?
There are multiple facets to humanizing crypto. So number one, like what he was saying earlier was like so right. There are like so many new Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum, you know, projects popping up, and they have all these ridiculous names because they are meme worthy, right? When Elon Gate was, you know, like kind of crashing the market by saying that he's, you know, going to accept Bitcoins anymore, there's a new coin that popped off that was like fuck Elon, and like everyone's like, you know, who had the sentiment, you know, fuck Elon because he fucked us all up. They're all invested into this coin. It went up, and I don't know where it is right now. There's no financial advice whatsoever. But what happens with the majority of these projects is they get rug pulled. And this is where, you know, it gets really, really dangerous, because you think you are trusting someone, right? You're spending money and buying certain shares or certain tokens from a specific project. And then a few days later, when the price is really high, the developer just rug pull it. Meaning they take all the liquidity out, they sell all their tokens, and then all of a sudden your tokens are valued at nothing.
Wow.
And this is a really, really common problem. And that's also why we called the project Save Your Assets, because we've seen so many people, you know, getting rug pulled the entire time. And what we do is entirely different, because we doxed, which means like we've unveiled our identities from day one. We said, hey, this is Lamine, this is Daniel, you know, like we both at Flooz, but like we're building this thing. It's an experiment. We're trying it out, you know, and we're going to keep you updated about our progress. We've done so for a month. We accumulated, I think, 11 or 12,000 followers on Twitter, you know, like a community of 10,000 people on Telegram, like 18, 19,000 people who've already invested. It's just been going super, super crazy. But one thing that has been very well received is that we are just extremely transparent, and we are open with what we are doing, with what we are building. We are outsourcing all the community decisions to the actual community by asking them for feedback on how we should decide if we're going to go in this direction or that direction. And the humanizing crypto part is so important, because it's not just humanizing the technicalities and the actual product of it, but it's also humanizing the people behind it, and making sure that you are actually investing into people and their future, you know, like progress that they will be making. And yeah, Save Your Assets has, you know, like definitely, you know, like moved forward quite quickly. And the way we do it is very simple. We allow people to buy the token the simplest way. So we are like removing all this complication, you know, like, and all the fuss around it, because sometimes when you want to buy a token, there's some weird error messages that pop up. So every time you buy a token, you have to enter a slippage percentage. I don't want to go into details about this, but it's complicated and people don't understand it. And every time people want to buy a token, it's like, what's the slippage? You know, and like we are just removing this entirely. Same thing goes when you want to buy a token, and you have a lot of buy or sell pressure, you know, and everyone wants to buy or sell. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes until your transaction gets approved. And people don't know it because they don't understand it. So we are making it very easy for them to just, you know, slide a slider, and then, you know, it's like, okay, 5x. And then you basically just slide, you click on transfer, and then it's instantly done. So that is kind of like the stage one. And in the second stage, we are actually, you know, besides building all the swapping mechanism, but we are actually building a wallet. So the same thing that I've done in banking over the last, like, I don't know, 10 years, where I built like one bank account after another. I'm applying all this knowledge now, and I'm building this for the crypto space, but just making it super easy and human to understand, so that you feel that, okay, that is the product I want to use because it's convenient and it's simple to use. Because if I tell you now, hey, buy a token, you'll be so confused, because it's way too complicated. It's like 7-8 steps that you have to do, you know, to get on board. And so this is what we mean by humanizing crypto: the people behind it, as well as the products.
I guess it's the first stage of humanizing it, by putting your faces to it and your names to it, because people,
that's already
they
big.
trust it.
Exactly. And then adding to this, once we humanize the crypto part, and this is where it gets really interesting, and this is something, you know, that we're gonna, you know, we've already explained it, but we're gonna explain it even further. But once we humanize it and it's working for you, so you understand it, then we're gonna integrate it into Flooz, which is the ecosystem with all the utility that allows you to accept questions from people for, you know, an exchange, right, for like a specific value. And once you combine these two things, that is the future of work. Because with the one hand, you have these 3 freedoms. You are like occupational freedom, physical freedom, and financial freedom. And then on the other side, you have this humanizing crypto part, which makes it super easy to get going. And once these two things come together, anyone in the world can live a happy and a self-defined life because they can just go out there and be their true, unapologetic versions of themselves. You know, and they can just be themselves. And because it's the passion economy and not the gig economy, which are two different things. But in the passion economy, I follow you because I like you. It's not, you know, like in the gig economy, is like if I need a logo, I go on a website. There's like 100 people, you know, offering just here you can just do a logo, right? And then you just select the cheapest price or whatever. But with the passion economy, I would go to you because you are the logo designer that I admire. You know, and if you combine these two things, that is an extremely powerful combination. And that is also the reason why we are so hungry. I mean, it's been a while. We've been doing this like for 4 weeks now. In Saya, we hired 17 people.
And they're awesome.
And they're all awesome.
They're kick-ass.
And like everyone is working around the clock 24/7 to get this done. It's like 17 people. At Flooz, we are right now, I think 16 people working also around the clock to make it happen. So we have basically 2 teams running in parallel, one building the utility, one the currency, you know, and like in a matter of a few weeks, these 2 things will kind of unite. And this is where it gets extremely powerful because, bro, that's the future of work. Like with the rise of automation and globalization, you know, like the majority of the jobs that we know don't exist. Like the job of an accountant, like what's the value of it? At some point there's an algorithm, there's a software, you plug in your bank account and it does the accounting for you. What's the purpose of a lawyer? You know, like same thing there. You know, like all of these jobs that, you know, that used to or that are still existing will cease to exist in the future. And the thing that is mind-blowing if you take a look at this is, you know, automation, artificial intelligence is at the forefront of, you know, like changing the world forever. And like we are right now in 2021, even if it's early, we are building the backbone of this entire economy. And this is the reason why we're so excited. And also like working like crazy in the car.
Don't worry, Benga.
And
their coins will never be able to replace you. Mende, you do realize that there's 4 cameras on us right now, right?
Yeah.
No,
He's always just like in the middle of it. He thinks he's not on camera and he's just like everything you do is being caught right now, bro. Everything you do.
But I also
don't
must
turn
say,
your
like,
phone that
like,
way.
Crypto doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
You never know what Mende does. You know, sometimes you just doing a trade right now. You know, like what we're talking here.
Let's talk about this whole what's happened this week. 'Cause I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that want to talk about this whole.
It's a bloodbath.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Explain it.
To be honest, I think
he looks happy with
that.
that.
Mende should be like the best person to explain this. But as for my understanding, like the entire market is bleeding, and there's just a big consolidation. And like from my research, this is, you know, something that happens once in a while. So I think it's up to Mende to say like how bad it actually is. But as for my understanding, it's a big consolidation. And from like the last bull run, it at some point had to happen, to my opinion. So
Mende.
Well,
he's gonna say manipulation.
Manipulation.
Big manipulation.
China.
that is
and
a
China,
lot of I think like it's
Loyalty.
really hard to explain, you know. Everybody can talk about these things, but nothing it's like 100% clear. So I cannot confirm that this is true, but 3 weeks ago there was a guy on YouTube. He actually called this thing, and it's called a Y-cough situation. Like it's some kind of market manipulation where a lot of whales kind of really steer the market in a way.
Whales being?
Whales are large cryptocurrency holders.
Okay.
Whale is somebody called who has like a lot of Bitcoin or something which is very, very valuable. Like, let's say if there is a total supply of 100%, so if somebody has like 0.1% of the total, I would consider him already a whale, depending in Bitcoin for sure. So because this would be more than 10,000 coins.
It's just like the Don Dada of that specific currency. Like.
Yeah, so basically what happened is that what they say, and it's visible like this from the chart, that those people are like kind of selling off, and then they also shorting the market somehow in the same time, and then also there's a lot of scanners created with the news. Also they use the news for it, so I'm not sure like how it's all combined, but it perfectly plays out even when Elon Musk does those tweets regarding this electricity consumption. You know, like there is a lot of panic, so I don't know if those super top guys, they are like very close friends, homies, and
they're all in WhatsApp, bro. They all have WhatsApp.
They have their own like secret communication channels where they all coordinate this. I don't know actually, but it's possible. But also then there is China banning those Bitcoin, and so they ban it. But
Yeah, elaborate
also
more on that whole China thing. What happened? So they were saying we're going to ban Bitcoin in China.
I think
full
they
stop.
already banned it again. But you see, China, I feel that they don't really banning it because the most mining it's happening over there. So I feel more that this is another propaganda to panic, because they just push the price lower and it goes up again. So all those scenarios combined scare the market, and Bitcoin is very connected to the whole market, like to all the other tokens. So when Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. But eventually when Bitcoin stops going down, the other coins, they recover and go up. But this also has, I mean, it's really complicated. I can't explain it exactly because it's burning my head and it's tiring, and I'm actually not a specialist to explain it, but I can tell you guys one good news, and this is that everybody, even my other crypto friends, they all say and believe that in short time the market will come back, and that for sure this year we will see another all-time high, and there will be another big way up. And this could be fast, this could be in few months, like maybe between 2 weeks and 2 months the market might recover.
No financial advice.
No financial advice.
Just do your own research.
Maybe. But usually in the summer, every summer it becomes a little bit less, like the trading cools down. It's not so fast moving, the market, and after summer, like maybe between September to December, that's what they say, you know, like that's not what I say, I'm just repeating.
No financial advice, do your own research.
You agree, Daniel?
Yes, every time do your own research. But again, this market has a lot of manipulation, a lot of speculation. So everything is really dangerous. And when it comes to that point, that's why I don't like trading anymore, because already maybe 4 or 5 months ago, when I was giving a lot of trading tips and prognosis on Instagram, I had targets on the paper, and all of those targets kicked in, and above, beyond. So some of the people who were following, I swear they made more money than I made, because they probably never really lost. So they're not so scared. But I was sometimes out of things already, and they still continue. So for me, it was already so pumped that it became like a gamble kind of thing, and the gambling is not nice. It's better if you do something where you have a skill in. So I thought, why do I actually continue doing this? I need to build my own project now. I've been waiting too long. There are now a lot of people coming in with this funny meme coins.
So Mende, what are you building?
Huh?
What are you building?
Yeah, what are you
What
doing?
is it? Like,
Let's talk about the
let's talk about it.
I'm building not a meme coin. It's a bit secret, but I've been releasing recently some information.
Look at him hyping the shit up.
Well, it's extreme hyper project. So it's actually a celebrity token network. So it's a real use case, and it's built on a super fast blockchain, which is like super fast. This is called Solana, this blockchain. So basically, when you send a transaction or do something, you click on it and it's already arrived. It's like light speed. So again, if Bitcoin, it's like the slow turtle moving heavy. Ethereum, it's like a Toyota Yaris. Yeah. Then you have like BSC, which is a modified, much faster and cheaper Ethereum. So it's not a Toyota Yaris. I would say it's like a Audi S8 or like a Lamborghini Urus, comparable, because the transactions also are much less. That's why it become user friendly, because Ethereum was too slow. It's still complicated, but if you send $5 and you pay $20 or $50 to send $5, it doesn't make sense. This was the biggest problem, and all those meme coins only are possible because Binance Smart Chain has the similar usability.
Sounds like my bank in Hong Kong.
Ethereum, and it comes from Binance, which already is the largest juggernaut in the whole crypto industry. They have like 90% as much USD stablecoin Tether, like all other exchanges combined. So the mass adoption from them, it's easy to happen, and that's exactly what they did. But again, I'm not building a meme coin, so the celebrity token network, basically what's happening. So we're creating celebrity tokens. Every person is a celebrity on our platform. We call it, could be a influencer, a singer, an artist, a famous doctor, even a politician, or even an astronaut. It just depends of the grade of popularity of the person.
Okay.
So if somebody is extremely famous, let's say we take Maluma, which there's some links. Now we will create a token for Maluma. So we will, Maluma maybe has 300-400 million fans. And on social media, maybe 100 million fans combined. So for sure he has 1 million crazy super fans. So we will create totally 1 million tokens. Now whoever owns this token, whoever buys one of those tokens, will get access to a special Telegram channel, which is private, and there the artist will be there, or the celebrity, and the celebrity will drop every week, or maybe more often, a special content which is nowhere else
Just
to
for
see.
them, yeah.
And in the same time, for every artist, we create merchandise stores, like t-shirts with prints. So we might create like hundreds of shops, but for different people, but all the same kind of products with different prints.
And you can only get
and
those products
graphics.
from them from that place.
Exactly, and the products partially get created by the community. Then the people who create them, get some royalty. The celebrity gets also like kind of 50% cut from the profits. So it's good for the celebrity also. And those people who own those celebrity tokens, those super fans, they can even vote if the product is good or not. So they make the job for the celebrity. They make his life easier. They can also tell him, rate his new songs if he, or whatever he likes to do. And they also get a 50% discount in this store. So it's like something which makes sense, and the other part of the money always goes into the ecosystem back. So my own token, I call it bonus with Z. The bonus token, it keeps
What's the URL?
bonus. This guy is pushing hard for me.
I'm just helping you, bro. Like, it's all good, man.
Thank you. Bonus.market. So
Nice.
anyways,
And on Instagram?
same, bonus market.
Okay, good.
And on Telegram, bonus market. And everywhere else, it's bonus market.
One word, no dots, no nothing.
No words.
No.
Bonus.market.
And bonus with the Z, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I want to get
Okay.
involved in this. BONUZMARKET
Yeah.
at market.
Yeah, I'm planning to launch like in the first year around 100 celebrities, and I will do a celebrity token offering. So they will advertise it to their followers so they can buy in. Because again, we have a small supply and a huge demand, so I believe they will sell out. It's a little bit popular to those who know crypto, to the project called Chili's, which is fan tokens for soccer teams. And this project also has like a $2.5 billion market cap, and it's also just launched 2 years ago. And I believe after COVID, like in the post-COVID, once the stadiums and everything open, this project will also explode, because they give, for example, discounts and other rewards for people who have the fan tokens. So let's say there's a huge game in the stadium and everybody wants to get in, but now you have more tokens of Barcelona than somebody who has none. Now you will be preferred to get the ticket.
Nice.
So gimmicks like this, and
Yeah.
I believe this even humanizes
Yeah.
crypto also more, because it gives the human more advantages to other humans, because maybe they are more loyal.
Yeah.
I know Barcelona has their own token.
Yeah,
They have their own token.
and the Barcelona token,
Yeah.
it's created by Chili's and trading on Chili's.
Cool.
So what I do is I create, it's like similar like Chili's, but it's for celebrities.
Yeah.
And why I can do that is because I have all the contacts. The tech is
Because
there.
you're big hard Mende.
Yeah, I'm trying my best, but I believe, I should have started this when I had the idea already last year, but there was some other things missing. And every human has his mission and way to go.
So what should the people that are watching this do now? Should I go somewhere and enter the email address to get updated, or?
Mate, you're doing pretty well as hosting, mate.
well, honestly,
The one thing that I've got left he wants to take. He's already taken all the tokens, all the banking systems, all that stuff, and he won't even leave me. But he's right. Tell them, Mende.
Well, thanks for the question. Technically, you guys could go to the website and enter your email address and participate in the pre-sale. But again, I don't want to push it. I don't want to endorse it. They already, without even advertising, it's really crazy. Yesterday I checked, there were 650 people already registered for pre-sale. I didn't even tell them. There's no countdown. There's no information. But the people, they believe in it because it's a real use case. And at the end of the day, I'm tapping into a market which is $2.6 trillion. That's the industry in 2026 for digital content. And the print and this merchandise industry is also like hundreds of billions of dollars. It's a crazy market. If I can capture with my platform 1% of this only in all those years with the big team, and also I make a lot of community effort. So even anybody who is interested, they don't need to be studied, have diplomas or some kind of high academical education. People can just come in the channels, apply, show what they have, and everybody can join. I feel it's also a team effort, and there will be tokens for teams. So I believe this is the economy of the future, to share with the good people as much as possible.
What is a cool thing, what is happening with creators as well, is actually NFTs of like famous people.
Of
like
course.
Shawn Mendes. How much did the NFT of Shawn Mendes sold for?
A couple hundred G's.
Yeah.
Those stuff is expensive.
So you're saying basically when I get people that are really, really big celebrities who come here, I should take a picture of them and just sell their NFT?
Yeah, why not?
So
so let's like clarify what an NFT is.
It's
It's
not
digital.
just it's digital. Of course, you can take a picture, but
I don't like your attitude and your disrespect to my questions. To be honest, when somebody answers a question and they go,
I swear to God, I had
Tell
to
this
get my
monkey.
eye, bro. Like, I was just like,
yeah.
sorry.
Of course it was. Yeah. Go on. Tell me. Go on.
No, like, Habibi, like,
here we go again.
So, here we go again. So an NFT is a non-fungible token, right? So
I don't want to fund it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's non-divisible. Like you own it. It's the stuff that you own, right? But the reason why certain NFTs do so much better than others is because these NFTs can have utility. To give you an example, do you know what the metaverse is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So the like. So how do I explain the metaverse?
Going from my superhero world, I'm guessing it's a fucking metaverse of metadata.
But it is. But it's exactly.
Data.
Where's the glove?
It's
Where's the
a
glove?
universe of data.
No, it's kind of like you're in a video game, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
like you have your own 3D avatar. It's like The Sims.
Yeah.
Like you run around in your, in your little Sim City, like you're chilling, with the homies and everything. And then all of a sudden I can go and I can buy a new sneaker.
Okay.
Like whatever sneaker.
To put
as
on
an
me.
NFT. Exactly. So this NFT that I buy on a platform, all of a sudden I can use it, let's say, in a video game. And then I'm the only person in this video game,
Who
if
can have
it's
those
Fortnite
sneakers.
or whatever, who has these sneakers.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden I play against him, and then he sees me, he's like, whoa, dope sneakers, can I have
It's
these sneakers?
status.
And then you're like, you can buy them.
Exactly, you can buy them off of me.
Okay,
because
but
I'm
what
the
if
only
this
one-
picture that I take is the only one print of it?
Exactly.
The only
That-
one.
that's
which,
the
which
whole
is,
thing.
It's totally fine, but
But you're saying how can it be used?
it can be used. You can put it in a digital art gallery in your home, in your little Sim City or in your Fortnite or whatever stuff, right? But the core idea is if you have items that can be actually used, because the picture, you can have it in your pocket in your video game, for instance, and then you can pull it out and then you can sell it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as powerful as you having a sword in a game or having a specific, like, I don't know, sneaker or specific outfit that truly identifies your own digital
Well, I'm
self.
sorry I don't have King Arthur coming onto my show with his sword.
But the idea is it's a digital item that is purely...
All right, bottom line, after we finish
Very-
this, tell me what I can turn into an NFT, all right? I got a lot of shit in here.
I can recommend something
Yeah.
to understand NFTs
Yeah.
more. Just
you see
watch.
how kindness and a pure heart talks to people?
That's why he's
You see
big-
how someone with respect for a fellow
Big heart
human
Mende.
being tries to help someone,
heart
as
Mende,
opposed
bro.
to you who just goes, You look an NFT.
Just watch this movie, Ready Player One.
Oh yeah, of course. I love that movie.
Okay, so you see the movie. So you see when he's
calm down.
somewhere.
Aggressive.
Big dude
You
destroying
see
everything.
in the Ready Player One,
Yeah.
later when some agents come, something when he's with the girl in
Yeah.
this thing, they
And
searching
he drives
for
backwards.
this key. No, then he takes this grenade or this
Oh, yeah,
item
yeah,
which
yeah.
he purchased. So
Yeah.
imagine this is an NFT, and this is the item he just drops.
Yeah.
And then it's like a unique item, or the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
which they put around the castle at the end. These are like special items. And in the future world, when we will have all those suits and all this AR, because it surely will be like this in maybe 5 to 10 years, because now already this world is getting amazing, but imagine how it's going to be in 10 years. I feel these things will be very standard. I don't know if people will care so much about Louis Vuitton bags and all those things. This will be more a virtual things.
The thing is they will, because it's assets, but in the digital version.
Yeah.
So the whole thing, what I think explains an NFT in its most simple way, it's all about status. In the end of the day, you own something. The only thing is that you can prove that you own this in the digital space. Because if it's either like a cool pair of sneakers or it's the exact same 3D rendering as an NFT, you still own this asset. And it can be used, like Lamine said just now, as utility in like different environments. So even if you were to, for example, play a game with your friends, and let's say we're in like a game room right now, and I have this super fancy, like skin, like I'm Iron Man, and we're like massive fans of these games, right? So we know that there's only one Iron Man suit. So even if it's a digital space, it doesn't matter, because they know you own this asset. So it's status. You own something. It's like even like art. Like there's only one art piece of this. It doesn't matter if it's digital or if it's physical. You own that piece. And that is basically like the blockchain is allowing to engrave this specific asset belongs to you. And that's the power of an NFT.
It's a mad
Thank you
world.
guys so much for thank you guys so much for coming down to my level and speaking to me in my eyes and respecting me
But
and
bro, I
and
did
teaching
too.
me and teaching me
Oh, bro, like he is
like in such a nice and loving way. Papa? You got anything to say? No, good.
Okay,
Last
no,
couple
no,
of things I want to cover
I'm gonna
in
shut
this.
up now.
Pump and dumps, and which are the future projects now coming up in the coming months that you think are worth watching out for?
You really want to ask that?
Yeah, of course.
Well, like we obviously really believe in our project.
No, obviously yours for sure.
No, explain
For
who's
sure.
Andy all-time high.
So the thing with like
That's pump and dumps.
so this again like also sort of backs like how we're trying to humanize crypto. So we use certain metaphors of basically speaking, in its most simple way, and we came up with this character called Andy.
Okay.
And Andy buys at all-time high. And as an investor, all-time high is technically the worst time to buy unless you're in for the long run or whatsoever. But Andy all-time high buys at the hype at the top, and then he sells at the dip. So basically, by like putting the story together of Andy buying at the Andy all-time high, he buys at the all-time high and he sells at the dip. We try to like make this as simple as possible. So we again also make it fun, understandable, and put like a story around this character. And the cool thing is we basically use this character in a game that we build, augmented reality game on Instagram. And within the first like day, we had 200,000 impressions of people playing this game. And
The game's
it's
cool too.
Yeah, it's
You should
fun,
play it.
man.
I will for
It's,
sure after this.
Yeah,
It
so
also works on your
I mean,
phone.
is the game going to be fun, or is it just going to be just shouting at me and telling me things? 'Cause you had something to do with creating the game, right?
oh, he
A little
did.
bit,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Time to fucking play a game. I suppose we'll let you play. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's and one thing that we learned, which I think is cool to share with everyone and like also your audience, is that we learned that the crypto market is not moved by things such as Instagram. Even though we got a massive amount of attention, there was not many like things happening in our ecosystem itself. But that also is super good for us to know, because it shows that crypto is not humanized yet. Because if people would know how to buy,
Yeah, because
we could have had a potential of 200,000 buyers.
Yeah.
But this only like gets us more excited because it shows how
It's a big
how
opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Like how big of an impact we can do if we were to actually get all these people to understand what is actually going on.
Funnel them the right way somehow.
Exactly. And we have this thing where we say the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the peach. And with all these things, we are planting the seed.
I'm shutting up, bro. I'm letting him talk.
got a good saying that comes to that. So one of my favorite sayings and quotes is a society grows great when old men plant seeds in which trees they'll never see the shade of, or of which trees shade they will never sit in. That makes sense to you?
Oh, bro, you got bars, bro.
That made me start. That made me start spitting, bro. That made me start spitting. I'm the best rapper you ain't never heard of in your life before, bro. But so it's a case of kind of like providing for the future, even if you're not going to benefit from it.
Yeah.
And this brings us directly to the question you asked earlier regarding the pumps and dumps. Like all of these new projects that come up on the Binance Smart Chain and like also on Ethereum, right? Like they are designed in a way to be quickly pumped and then instantly dumped or rock pulled. Like, and we've seen this so many times. Like people use significant amounts of marketing. They pay TikTokers a lot of money, they pay YouTubers a lot of money to talk about a specific coin, so they hype these coins up. There are even bots that are just going on YouTube, like, you know, checking the comments or like checking how many times a specific token has been mentioned by the top YouTubers, and then if they see that this specific token has been mentioned a lot, people buy. You know, and then they set their orders automatically, and then they buy and then they sell when they make 5, 10, 20x or whatever, right? So but the big problem with this is like the way that and it's so interesting. It's just a marketing play, right? The way that they do it is like they take a meme, any meme that you can think about, you know, they take a meme and then they blow it up on TikTok. They say, hey, that's the next coin, we're doing this, and then they say, hey, we're doing also some stuff on charity and blah blah blah. They tell you a story, you know, with like a website that is okay-ish, you know, but it doesn't have terms of service. It doesn't have a data privacy policy. Those are all like small indicators that already show you, okay, these people are not legit. You know, like if these things are missing, right? Like it's a small indicator. And then you go and you buy the token, and then they wait until this gets pumped up, and then the developers have like multiple wallets, and then they wait until it's all-time high, and then they liquidate all of it, and then they just rock pull it. And this is what is called, you know, like a pump and dump. And what we are trying to do is, you know, like not becoming a pump and dump, you know, so like we are not just hyping this stuff up for the sake of hyping it, but we're actually building products so that people can use our products and have like a better experience in using crypto in general. And by doing so, like ultimately, you know, the value of the coin will increase. But pumps and dumps are super, super dangerous because so many people lost money. And because there is no value behind it. It's just like, hey, here's a new meme, let me make a coin, let me get like 20,000 people to buy into this, get the price really high and sell it, and that's it.
Yeah,
and if you're lucky, and you bought very, very early and you waited there and you sold there, like a lot of kids made a lot of money. But usually what happens, when the news gets spread on TikTok, it's already too late to buy it. Because these TikTokers have bought for thousands of bucks the token when it was like, you know, very low. And then all of the sudden this thing gets super, super hyped, and then they know, and then you just see like the value going up, and then they just take all the cash out. Because there's no utility. That's why it's so important to have a real world use case around these tokens that you buy, because otherwise, you know, with the bear market, not the bear market, but with the crash that currently has happened, a lot of these coins will cease to exist in the weeks to come. A lot of them. And then you out there, you know, like thinking, oh, I'm going to buy the next coin that's going to go 1,000x, etc. Because people got super spoiled. There were certain tokens, they made like 1,000x return in like 30 to 40 days. Wow. This is nuts. 1,000x, bro.
Are there still coins like that now?
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 coins that are still like highly popular.
Tell these guys.
They are like, there's one coin which is called SafeMoon, which went through the roof. And then like right after SafeMoon launched, there was another coin that launched that was called SafeMars. It also went through the roof. And they have very similar tokenomics to also what we have. They kind of were like the what's it called? They kind of spearheaded this entire tokenomics revolution that we're seeing right now. And yeah, they went up high, but none of them have a real life use case. So what these guys are doing, for instance, and again, no shade whatsoever if you guys are watching it, like call us, like, you know, like no shade whatsoever. But what they're doing, they're giving away Teslas. So you buy a token, you say, oh shit, I can win a Tesla. But what is, I mean, it's cool to win it, but then it's a lottery. Like, and a lot of people call these tokens Ponzi schemes, right? And again, not throwing any shade to it whatsoever, and they might end up building a lot of utility. And I know that SafeMoon, for instance, is building a lot of, or trying to build a lot of utility, but we have a different take because we come, you know, from this industry in general. We decided the day that we launched, we already have the first utility in play. you know, and now we're building the next product and then the next product, and then we're taking this currency and enabling the future of work. So this is what gets us really, really excited. But pumps and dumps, super, super dangerous, and don't be in the all-time high, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going to be anytime high, mate. Guys, is there anything that you wanna leave the guys with? Anything that you feel like we forgot? I mean, Daniel's got a 5-a-side football match to go to, so we need to kind of get to the end of the...
I know.
Well, I would recommend everybody really to be very careful.
Yeah.
Learn and read as much you can.
Do your own research.
Check YouTube videos. There's some good influencers who not only promote things, but they also teach.
Is there anyone that you would recommend to them out of the YouTubers?
Yeah, there's one guy, he goes very deep driving down, but he's very technical and he makes a lot of like kind of CIA research behind the things. His name is Chico Crypto.
Okay.
I know this. I like this guy. I don't know him, but I feel he's good. And for trading signals, there are many good people, but they also sometimes wrong. But a lot of people make money through them too. So like Crypto, Carl from the Moon, Crypto Jack, all those guys, Moritz, they're pretty good. But they always give you a few options. So they read the charts, and then if this happened, then this might happen more slightly, or if it goes this way, then eventually this might happen, or if the chart plays this kind of play, like some structures, you know, like it breaks some all the words are missing now, my brain, it's already
yeah, you fell asleep halfway through the episode. He just woke up, he's like, oh, it's my turn to speak. Okay, let's do this.
They have those kind of indicators, and then sometimes things work out, but it's also risky, you know. Like I would just focus on real projects, things which have real use cases. And now so many people woke up into the crypto world and they start understanding it, which they never looked deeper into it. Maybe a lot of them also lost money, but a lot of them also might actually be thinking now how to create the next projects, how to upgrade current existing projects which are already on the market. Also here in UAE, the regulations improved drastically since we met last time. So there is a whole, from financial authorities, there's a whole document. Also you can put the link, it's like 80 pages with new regulations. It's still complicated, but UAE is a crypto friendly place. And I believe in the long term there will be like a lot of businesses upgraded to blockchain and tokenized, and there are already some entities which even accept crypto as payment. So I believe the future is here, and it's just more to come. And just guys, keep always doing a good research and have many reasons to do certain thing, one move. Never do something just because one person said it. Just do research, because it's it's hard to make money, but it's very, very easy to lose money. And the worst thing is when somebody gambles or plays so hard with some things that he lose actually money which was allocated to pay rent or buy food for the family. So this is terrible, you know. And a lot there are people, I know them also, some guys, they were selling their cars to go into some of those projects. So I believe that some guys I know, they really lost money. But I know also some guys who made heavy money, but still this is too much of a gamble. I mean, I wouldn't go for it. I would learn the technology and be ready for the next wave and be early.
Nice.
That's what I recommend you.
I think the only thing left now to end the episode, guys, is for Daniel to introduce himself for a third time.
Well, actually, do you have some Chinese fans?
Huh?
Do you think you have some
Yeah,
Chinese
of
fans?
course.
大家你好，我希望你对这个 channel 很感兴趣。有什么问题你就发个微信给我，还是发个邮件给我。我不知道我想说什么，但是我觉得我全部都是说明了，所以谢谢。
Bro,
You know, it's good,
plug in
it's good,
Flooz.
yeah.
It's just like
It's good that he said that, because I was going to say that, and then I just thought.
No. Do you want me to say anything to them in like Chinese? Or?
No. I think you chatting up their wives just there was good enough. It was good enough, bro. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's been emotional. It's been lovely for you guys to take out the time. You two for being nice to me, and you for just insulting me the whole time. But yeah, I think people are going to learn a lot from this episode, and Mende, we'll see you again. Daniel, we'll see you again. Nice to meet you, bro.
Thank you so much also to give me the opportunity that I was able to bring some cool guests.
No, of
this
course.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us.
No,
and
no,
for
it's
your
really,
questions.
bro.
That's
really
Should we just have a naked group hug on the table?
welcome.
Yeah, man.
No, we're
Bluetooth,
good,
bro.
bro. We're good, bro.
Boom.